All right, happy Friday, everyone. This is Heather Glenn, and we are on the Dream Chasers weekly Zoom meeting. And today I'm really excited. We're going to get into a topic that's really just getting back to the basics, because I know we have a lot of new teammates, which is really exciting. We had probably one of our biggest months of new coaches ever, I think. So it's really exciting to see the team growing, but I know that as we do grow and we get more new coaches, we have more people that we really need to take under our wing and teach them what are the basics of this business. So we're going to get into that topic today, but first I wanted to give just a little shout out to one of my new coaches, Amy Bergstrom, who hit Emerald in her business this week. It's so exciting. So I know she isn't on today, but hopefully she'll watch this recording, and let's give her like a little shout out for hitting Emerald Coach. That's really exciting. So for those of you who don't know what that means yet, it basically means that she's sponsored 2 people in the business and is mentoring 2 people to learn how to do what we all do. Amy, I'm just going to click you off for a second. Okay, and so that's really exciting news. I feel like that's always like a first big step for a coach after maybe working with a couple of customers, which is usually the first goal. And the next step is kind of like, if you want to build your business beyond helping people and you want to teach other people to do what you're doing, that first step is getting those first couple of people in and really mentoring them in the business. So that's very exciting. I know we have a couple of new people on the call, and I thought it would be fun, Christine, if you want to introduce, and Amy, I don't know if you want to introduce your new coach as well, just so we get a little bit of background on who the person is. And I know a little bit about each of you, but Christine, why don't you start?
Sure. First of all, I want to shout out to Amy because she's in her gown from post-surgery 2 days after, and look at her, isn't she cute? So thank you for being here today and being on it. And you guys will have to look at Amy's post she just did in the last half hour. So I just read it. It's really inspiring how she's just right out of the bed. And talking about how, we can't really take our health for granted, because when you go through surgeries and kids and everything else, like, you recognize that if you don't have your health, it's hard to do anything else. Right, Amy? So it's an awesome story. Thanks for sharing it today. I'm really excited to introduce Aaron Schultz. Aaron, wave your hand for everybody to see you. He's from back east, and it's so cool that her mom and my husband know each other. And as I was in the summit in Nashville, I got a message from her mom saying that she was interested in learning more about this opportunity. And she's really enthusiastic and excited. She's working full-time in another job. So she recognizes, even without kids and the chaos of maybe some of our lives with families, how busy it can be to work full-time and try to figure out, how do I still get my activity in? How do I plan and try to eat healthy? So we're really excited to have Erin on our team, and I know that she's going to be terrific, and she's really excited about all the learning she's going to start learning on September 12th with our Rock the Basics program and get going on that. So we're so glad to have you part of our team, Erin, and thank you for being on today.
Awesome. Welcome. Amy, I unmuted you. Do you want to introduce your new coach?
Yes, that would be great. I wish we could see you, Kirsten, but I wanted to introduce everybody to Kirsten Rigsby. Her and I went to school at UC Davis together, and we were at the same church, the Newman Center, and she reached out to me last month and wanted to get started on the Beachbody program. She did the 21-day fix and had incredible results. She won our entire challenge, so really, really proud of her. Lost over 10 pounds. She's a mother of 2. She also works full-time. So I'm so impressed, Kristen, that you were able to do all of that. Welcome. I'm so excited that you're on the call.
Thank you.
Awesome. Welcome, ladies. This is so exciting. I feel personally very passionate about helping busy women, especially busy moms, but ever since I got into fitness, my first business was a boot camp for women. So I've always been very passionate about helping women. And I just love seeing, all the wonderful women on our team just growing and being able to kind of spread the love of health and fitness. And I was just having a conversation this morning about how the one thing that I've noticed in all these years of being in fitness is how how much it builds someone's own personal value and their confidence in what they do, and that fitness is so much more than just, trying to be healthy or trying to look a certain way, but that from a mindset perspective, when you take time for self-care and you take time to value your body and take care of it, it makes you feel really important. Like you are putting value on yourself and your confidence grows. And I find that women have better relationships, or they feel more confident in work and like standing up in front of a boardroom and talking. And it's just, I feel like health and fitness is such a foundation for everything else we do in life. And it really should be something that all of us are spreading, whether or not we're Beachbody coaches. Like, we should be helping people be healthy. So anyway, love seeing all these wonderful faces on. Okay, guys. So logistics wise, obviously we've got a lot of us, I think, are participating in the health bet challenges that are happening this month. It's really exciting to see so many people in the group. And I think it's going to be really fun to have this cash prize kind of connected to it. And hopefully that will motivate people to stay through the full 4 weeks doing their fitness and their Shakeology. And we'll get some really great results and start being able to share, the power of these groups and what we're doing. So I hope you guys are excited for those to start next week. And then on top of that, Christine did mention that Rock the Basics training is coming up. So there are several levels of training. So if you are brand new and you are still even trying to figure out what the back office is and what you're supposed to be doing on a daily basis, the 10-day prep course is kind of a nice, easy sort of step into training. And then the 1.0 is usually sort of the level where you start to talk about like social media and how you invite people to your groups, how you might even run a group. And the goal of that is to get you running like a short challenge of your own. But if you are running a challenge like with us, it's not a requirement to run your own, but they do kind of talk about that in the training. So I think you said that started on the 12th, right, Christine?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
So something to consider. It will take a little bit of time out of your day, but it's a great way to learn different aspects of your business. I highly recommend it. And then there's trainings that happen beyond that. So if you've done 1.0 and you feel like you need to get connected into training again, there's 2.0, 3.0, and then as you get into like diamond level in your business, there's the option to go into the high performance group, which is awesome. Cool. Okay. We have somebody else jumping on. Yay. All right, so then let me just check my notes. I want to make sure I didn't forget anything. Okay, so those are announcements. The other thing, last announcement here is just to, I don't know if any of you guys were able to get on live to the Rockstar Fit training monthly training call last night, but it was an interview that Trina did with an author of a book that's all about basically motivation. And now the title of the book is escaping me, but it's basically like, I think getting to like, how do you have like internal motivation? And I was actually on Trina's call this morning and she talked a little bit about the points. But I think I'm definitely planning to go watch it because it sounds very interesting. But the concept was, we always think people are either motivated or unmotivated. And I can see this topic actually helping in coaching your challengers as well as maybe coaching coaches on your team. That there's actually, everybody's motivated. It's not you're motivated or you're not motivated, but it's what you're motivated towards. Are you motivated towards something that's not healthy for you or not going to be something long-term and lasting for you that will build something good in your life? Or are you motivated towards something that's going to bring you happiness and long-term health? And there were 6 areas that she kind of touched on. There's like 3 that are sort of like the not good things to be motivated toward. Maybe one of them being, say, finances or achievement or awards. And if you're only focused on those things, it's not sustainable long-term, because when you do achieve those things, you still are left feeling kind of empty. And if that's the only thing you're doing what you're doing for, then it's going to be hard to stay motivated every day. So that's just an example of one of them. It sounds very interesting. I'm going to listen to the call. I hope you guys do too. Was anybody on live?
So I wasn't on live, but I'm listening to this. Is it Sarah Morrison? who she works for Trina.
Oh, was she on it too?
Well, no, she was running, that was like the lead up to Trina's call.
Okay.
And so, if that's amazing too, the mindset one, and I can share that. I think I can share it in the group. I don't know if you guys have to be invited to it, but she shares some really good things about how you get your mind set around the right goals, and how really your mind takes it. But the book was called Why Motivating People Doesn't Work and What Does.
I think that's the same book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but that's the book that Trina shared about, and I haven't listened to it yet. I'm kind of listening to it in order. But
Okay.
Sarah's videos on Mindset Bootcamp was awesome so far. So.
Oh, good.
I
So you're doing that little was
Yeah.
a challenge group or something she was doing. Was it for coaches or for
It was open to any of the coaches on our team.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so she videotaped them, so they're all on YouTube.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Maybe that's something, if you feel like it's valuable, maybe you want to, I don't know if next week would be a good week. You could share it maybe in the Fit Republic group if anyone wants to go and listen to those. That would be great.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. So I hope that you guys will take it. You know, we have a long weekend. I know some of you guys are probably traveling, but if you have time, it could be something that even if you're driving somewhere, you could put it on and listen to it while you're driving. Because it sounds like it was a great interview, and I'm excited to hear about the different types of motivation, because I think even being able to motivate ourselves every day, making sure that we're aligned with things that are going to fuel that motivation, and that we're not focusing on the wrong things, because if you're focused on the wrong things, it's not sustainable and it's very draining. So cool. All right. So we are going to move on to the exciting topic today of basically just like, where do you get started in this business? Or, you know, if you've been a coach for a while, how do you get refreshed? Or if you feel like you need a restart, like where do you even restart in this business? So what I try to do with a lot of my new coaches is kind of baby step them through things. And so I'm going to kind of walk you through a couple of things that I really try to get my new coaches to do from the beginning to help them take away some of the overwhelm of all the stuff you could do, and just focus on like one little piece at a time to start basically getting the word out there, what you're doing, so that you can attract people to you who need help with health and fitness and they want to work with you. So I've been running my own businesses for quite some time. I think it's been 12 years since I've actually worked for someone else, which is crazy to think about. One of the fun things about having your own business, which all of you guys now do have your own business as a coach, is that you can be as creative as you want, and you can build your business any way you want. You can serve anyone you want. You can choose how much you want to work, when you want to work, how many people you want to help. There's so much choice, and it's wonderful. You don't have someone breathing down your neck every day saying, okay, where's this? Or you got to do it this way. So there's so much wonderful things about having your own business. But then at the same time, for all of those wonderful reasons, the thing that's hard about having your own business is you don't have someone telling you exactly what to do every day when you show up at your desk, and you don't have someone following up with you to make sure that you actually follow through and you meet your deadlines and that you hit the numbers that you want to hit. And I remember when I first started running my own business, I would sit down at my desk sometimes and I wouldn't even know where to begin. Like, I didn't even have a plan. I was like, okay, well, I know I have to take care of my customers, so I can always start there, or I'll jump into my email box and I'll see what's in there and I'll respond to that. Or, I mean, we didn't even have social media at the time, but now it could be Facebook messages or jumping onto social media and like, well, let me scroll through and see if something pops up. Maybe there's some papers on your desk and you're like, well, I'll take care of those. And it's like, it kind of gets to be random, and then you don't really have a plan to make sure that you're doing things that actually drive people into your business. So I kind of ran my business like that for a while. And, I found that I had to start bringing more structure into my day. As much as I'm kind of, I'm a P personality on the Myers-Briggs. So sometimes having too much structure makes me feel like choked. But you really need that to some extent. If you don't have a list you're working from and you don't have a plan every day, it's going to be really hard to build traction in your business. So the wonderful thing about Beachbody is no one's breathing down your neck, but they are providing you with tools that say, here's what successful coaches do every day. And you can have this little checklist and work off of it. And if you do these things, you will see growth in your business. And then I think the hardest piece is then we have to have that internal motivation, right? Or maybe it's discipline to sit down and actually start checking off those lists. And it won't be perfect every day. You're not going to complete the list every single day, but I think it's important to make sure that you're focused on the right tasks and that you don't spend too much time in one area and not spending time in the areas that will actually put you in front of new people and get new business. So with that, where do you start? So if you're a new coach starting out, or maybe you've taken a break, or maybe you feel like you need some new traction, I think a great place to start is by sharing your story. And that can, for most people, it's easiest to do on social media. At the same time that it's easy to do that because you can reach a lot of people and you can write it out or you can do a video. I know it can be nerve-wracking for some people to be able to share their story. What I will tell you about that is that in every case where I've seen someone finally post their story, they've gotten a lot of traction and interest and support off of it. So it always turns out to be a very positive experience. So if you have any hesitations about sharing your story, start small with little pieces. You don't have to share the whole story, but you can share little pieces about your own fitness journey. So it could be anything from, what you were struggling with before, how you integrated fitness, what that did for you. I think the big piece is eventually that story has to kind of come back to letting people know that you decided to become part of Team Beachbody and become a coach because you want to be able to help people and pay it forward. And in saying that and stating that outright, then people know, maybe she can help me. And I think sometimes we do share stuff on social media, but we're not always we're not direct enough about it. Like we don't really let people know exactly, how involved we are with the process and that we are a coach and that we can help them. And so they may not even know to come back to us, right? And ask for help. So I would say that first starting point is sit down and take some time to really just think about what is your story? Where were you before you started working, in fitness with us, and before you got into a challenge group, if you were in a challenge group, and what has fitness really done for your life? And kind of walk them through the journey and how you got connected to your coach, or, how the challenge group went for you. What were the results of it? And ultimately, why did you decide that you needed to be integrated into the team? Maybe it was for accountability, so that you stay on your own fitness plan. Maybe it was because you just like the positive energy of the group. Maybe you like the idea of helping other people. Whatever it is, you can include that in your story. And some people, they like email format. I've seen some coaches who've emailed out and basically just said, hey, this is kind of where my life's been. I'm now on this new journey and would kind of love to help anyone. If you know anyone that's looking for fitness in their life, you can kind of point them toward me. So I think it's important to start. This is basically kind of like your marketing, right? Like you're putting up your sign in your shop saying, okay, I'm open for business now, so that people know they can come to you for help. So then I talked a little bit about referrals, which means just asking people if they know anyone who's looking for health and fitness. You could either include that asking for a referral in your original post or email, or maybe down the road you could kind of share your story again, and then at that point you may ask for a referral. Or maybe if you're helping someone and they had great results, always remember to ask for referrals. That's a really, really important thing that I actually often forget to do. And I'm like, why am I not asking people for referrals? So make sure that you guys do that. So the next steps, so you've shared your story. You're probably going to get a lot of people kind of commenting and liking on it. What I then ask my coaches to do is to go back to that post and write, make your kind of your initial list of people from that. Who liked your post, who commented on it, write them on a list. Those are the people who have obviously shown support and interest in what you're doing, that those would be great people to start having conversations with. And whether you ask them right away, join my challenge group, or you just start asking them how they're doing, thank them, say, thank you for supporting me in this new venture. I'm really excited about it. What are you doing for your fitness lately? Or you can say, hey, if you know anyone that might need some help, I would really love to work with them. And just get those conversations going. In addition to that list, I always tell my coaches, like, think of, 3 to 5 people who are really close to you in your life, that, I don't know, if your car broke down on a deserted highway at 3 a.m., you could call them and they would get in their car and come pick you up. Think of those people. A lot of times it's family members, maybe it's your best friend. It could be somebody at work that you really trust, to tell them about, your new business, and that, you really need some feedback on, the programs, and you need people to try the different programs and give you feedback. And, you would love to be able to help them, and in the process have a couple of success stories that you can then go out and share with other people, at least kind of helping you to know how the products work and the benefits of them. And honestly, it's really kind of building your own self-confidence in your ability to coach those people. And I find that when people do this, it's wonderful. I have a new coach that just signed up, and she enrolled her sister to do the 21-day fixed program. And so she's going to be in our challenge group. And, working with her and saying, hey, let's just help your sister get some great results. And then that can be your first success story. So I think that's a great, really great idea to get your first couple of customers. Okay, thanks, Beth. So make that list too. So again, if we're recapping, it's share your story, make a list of the people who comment and like on your story, and then make that list of the maybe 3 to 5 people who would really help you out, and ask them to do you a favor. And hey, would they try out these products? And you want to coach them. You need to practice your coaching. You want to get some results, from people and really get some feedback. Does anybody have any questions so far? I feel like I'm going to be putting a lot of information in front of you, and I want to make sure I'm not going too fast or anything. Sounds good? All right, cool. So then the next thing is you want to have, I feel like it's very important for new coaches at some point in the first couple of months to kind of run their own short challenge so that they can get practice running a challenge. Another way to do it is you can be in a group, say with your sponsor, where you guys are co-leading. I think just even learning the logistics of how to put a group together, how to create an event page, any of that stuff. I find that I learn better when I actually do it myself. And I find that the coaches who have run their own challenges by themselves, even if they're just 3 to 5 days long, they feel much more confident in the whole process because they've had their practice round, right? And they've done all aspects of running the group, and they feel like, okay, now I get it. Like I've seen it from start to finish. So it might be something that you want to put on your list for, if it's not September, maybe it's October. And you can always talk to your sponsor, or I'm happy to talk to you about it if you're not sure like what kind of challenge to even run. Rock the Basics 1.0 will talk about a 5-day challenge that just incorporates Shakeology as a part of it. A lot of new coaches will even just run a free group just so they can practice it, with the option of maybe getting Shakeology to add in. With anything, you only get better with practice. So you always have to have that first group that you're going to run, and it probably won't be perfect. And actually most of them are never 100% perfect. But it just gives you an opportunity to practice. So I'd highly encourage that. I've had some new coaches who've actually done the 3-day refresh as their first challenge group. So they'll have all their people do the 3-day refresh, and then they just do a 3-day challenge group, and they all go through that program together. So that's another option as well. Cool. So then on a daily basis, so that's a little bit more of like a high level, where do I get started? On a daily basis, and you'll probably hear this a lot within Beachbody, they talk about their 4 daily vital behaviors. And these are kind of if you don't know what to do in your day, these are the 4 things that you do. So the first one is obviously being a product of the product. So working on your own health and fitness. So we're not going to be very good about talking about Shakeology or the fitness programs or the 3-day refresh if we haven't actually done them ourselves. And this doesn't mean you have to have done every single fitness program that they have, but it's very helpful to be doing something with Beachbody in order to be able to talk about it to other people. You also really need to have your own results and show people that you're working on your fitness and that it's something that you do all the time. It's part of your day. Like it's not a once a year kind of thing. People need to be inspired by that. And then, for myself personally, I know I've had times where I haven't done a good job of putting my own fitness first, and I haven't been, a product of the product. And I had a really hard time inspiring people, I felt, or even like figuring out what to say on social media, because I wasn't living that life. I wasn't showing people the way, and it made it very hard to stay connected to my business. So it doesn't seem maybe that it's important or that it's driving your business, but if you aren't taking care of you, you're not going to be able to take really good care of anyone else. And if you're not utilizing the products, and how would you share that with anyone, and how will people believe you, right? So I think it's a really important thing to do. Make sure that you guys are always scheduling time for your own fitness, and that you are utilizing Beachbody's programs, even if it's not every single day, that you're at least using them and showing people how they can incorporate it into their life. I imagine there's probably no questions, but any questions on that vital behavior? Everyone's going to promise to do that piece. Yeah. All right, cool. Vital behavior number 2 is personal development. And this is another fun piece. I love personal development. It's like my favorite thing. It's something that Beachbody definitely promotes a lot. And it's not something that I did a lot of until I became a Beachbody coach. And I'm so thankful for it, because I feel like I've grown so much. And now it's almost like I can't get enough of these personal development books. It's funny, I'm in this book club, and we had to put books in a hat that we wanted to read, and then we were going to pick out the different books. And everyone else had all these fiction novels, and all my books were like personal development books. Everyone's like, oh, that's Heather. Oh, that's Heather's book. But I think it's just, I don't know. I feel like if I'm going to sit down and read, I want to read something that's going to help me grow. So it's really important to do this piece, because again, having been in business so long for myself, you don't have someone there every day kind of pumping you up or keeping you focused, keeping you, trying to keep you inspired and motivated. So when you do have those days where you feel like, wow, I'm really struggling, like, why did that person say no to me? To be able to go into your personal development and get that boost of confidence that you need. And it's kind of like being a product of the product. I've noticed the times when I haven't done that, I feel like I'm not very good at what I'm doing. So even if it's just 10 minutes a day, it doesn't have to necessarily be a book. There's a lot of great podcasts out there. I personally love Brendan Burchard. If I need like a boost of like, all right, you got to go get him, I'll go listen to his podcast, The Charge Life. And he's got a lot of great podcasts that are usually only like 8 to 10 minutes. So they're really easy to listen to, and it's be just enough to get me going for the day. So make sure that you guys schedule that in. And if you need recommendations for new coaches, 3 books that I love, The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy talks a lot about how those little daily actions you do every day consistently will lead to big results. I love The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth by John Maxwell. It's all about different aspects of helping you to kind of grow internally and to look at things differently in life. It was probably one of the first books that I read where I really feel like it changed my life a lot. So I would highly recommend that book. And the other one I love is Failing Forward, because we all fear failing, and it put a different light to failing. You know, I don't like failing, and I always want to be perfect and good at everything. And I think that in some ways that can hold me back on a day-to-day basis. And so when you hear how he talks about how it's good to fail, it gets you more excited to get out there and fail. Beth says, Failing Forward changed my life. Yes. So those are 3 good ones to start with if you guys are looking for some books to read. So vital behavior number 3, invite. Okay, guys, this is like your business driver. Oh, Amy, did you have a question?
Yes. Could you repeat the person you said you recommended for podcasts?
Oh, so Brendan Burchard.
Brendan Burchard. Okay.
Yes, he's great. And if you can't find it, let me know. But it's called The Charged Life, I believe is what it is, named after his book that he wrote.
Thank you.
If you need other podcast recommendations, let me know. Shalene has a good one too.
Okay.
I think it's called The Shalene Show. Okay, so yeah, vital behavior number 3, invite. So this one I find is the one that is the most uncomfortable for most people. And we tend to like to stay in the first 2 vital behaviors because those are the fun ones. We get to work on ourselves, right? And they are important, but we cannot eat up all our time with those and not save some time for the inviting piece, because the inviting piece is really what's getting us out there in front of people and opening the door for them to come work with us. And if you want to be able to grow your business and help people, the only way you can do that is to keep kind of reaching to new people and take that step to have those conversations and be bold enough to invite them to be in your challenge group. Now, one of the things, we're not going to go into like how you would invite them. That could be something that you could talk to your sponsor about. It's also something that we do cover in our Rock the Basics training programs. Like, how do you invite people on social media, or how do you send private messages? So if you really need some help in that area, then, talk to your sponsor and they can probably help you find some resources for that. But, in terms of inviting, and this will be covered a little bit in the tracker, which I want to go through because the tracker is going to be like your daily action item. But you need to be inviting daily if you want your business to grow, is basically the bottom line. So even if you can only invite 1 person a day, you want to be doing that, and you want to be able to do it consistently. Setting a daily goal, I think, is very helpful. There is a suggested goal in the activity tracker. But again, we're all busy, right? And some days we may only have time for 1 invite. I personally believe 1 invite is better than not doing anything, right? So I'd rather you, rather than saying, oh, well, I can't do 5 today, so I'm just going to not do it. I'd rather you do the one that you can do, the one person that's life you might be able to change. And then along with the inviting, because in some cases we're probably not going to send a message to someone we haven't talked to in years and be like, hey, join my group. Some people might feel comfortable doing that. Some might not. I feel like starting new conversations every day is a great place too. And you don't even have to get into telling them you're a coach or even necessarily talking about fitness from the first message. It could just be, hey, I saw this post of you and your family. You went on this awesome vacation. It just reminded me of how in high school we used to do this. You know, it could be anything where you're just kind of opening the door to start or build that relationship again. When you do that, you're showing people that you're interested in them, that you want to know about them. And I think it's important when you do that, that you don't get hung up on the outcome of it, because then it makes the process not fun. And one of the things I've been doing for my own self in the last couple of weeks is trying to let go of expectations and trying to really enjoy the work, like enjoy the process. Like, okay, if I'm going to have this conversation with the person, I want to have fun and truly enjoy it. And I think if you go from the standpoint of, I don't have to have something come out of this, like I just have to start talking to people. And I know that Beth shared with me in a message that I think, I'm assuming you've been doing more of that lately, Beth, just no expectations. Like, let's just talk to people and put ourselves out there and see how we can help, even if it doesn't necessarily lead to something right away. And with any business or anything you're trying to create, there's always a time investment period up front to be able to build that momentum. When you're first starting a business, you're going to do a lot of reaching out. You're going to be probably getting a lot of no's initially. It takes time for people to really see you and see what you're doing and really build that interest. And, you know, if you haven't talked to anyone and the first day you talk to 5 people, there's only 5 people who know you. Think if you talk to 5 people in 6 months, how many people will know what you're doing and how many relationships that you will have built over that time. So when you sit down to do these activities, I just suggest to you to just enjoy the process and not get hung up on the expectation of something coming out of it, because then it makes it not fun. So then I think that was everything I wanted to cover on inviting. In terms of inviting, I think I mentioned, obviously you could post something on social media, you could private message people, text them, call them on the phone. Another thing that's really great to do is spend a little bit of time on your social media commenting on people's posts, and not just liking, because nobody really notices the likes. I mean, sometimes I'll go click in and see, who liked my post. But doing a meaningful comment, people will start to get to know you better, I think, and that trust will start to build. So as you're kind of going through your social media, looking at your friends, when they share something, even if it's like, oh, wow, you look great in that color blouse. How's your family? You know, anything like that, really just kind of starts to build that relationship. So that's something you can do that doesn't necessarily have to be like a private message or a text or a phone call. And what I've done, now, whether you want to take the time to do this or not, I think, I had about like 1,500 friends on Facebook, and I think it took me maybe a couple days of an hour or 2 here and there to do this. But I went in and I categorized people. So I put like all the people who are Beachbody coaches in one little category, and I put people who I thought would be people I'd want to invite to my challenges in like my potential challenger category, and people who I thought might be great coaches in the future, I put them in my potential coach category. People who are fitness professionals, because that's my background, I put them in like a fitness professional category. And then what I can do is click on that category and I will see posts only for those people. So if you want to laser in on the people that you want to be able to help, you can do it that way. Does anyone want me to show you that really quick? Yes? Okay. Let's see if I can do this quickly. I'm going to screen share here.
Okay.
Let's see. Where is... All right. Hopefully I can get to this pretty easily if I can find my Facebook.
Kirsten, are you still on? Do you want to figure out if we can get you on the video so you can see this?
Okay, here we go. She might be muted, maybe. Let me see. Kirsten, I unmuted you if you want to.
Awesome. Okay. Yes, I logged in with my husband's iPad, so I've been watching.
Oh, cool.
Good. Okay. We can't see you because
Thank
there's
you.
no There's no video for your picture, but you can see us good.
All right, so can you guys see coaches save yellows? Is that funny?
Yes.
Okay, my computer's going really slow though, so I'm hoping that, wow, this could take a little while. Ugh. I don't know why it's going so slow. Okay, so let's see. If I go to, I think I have to go down to my lists on this left side here. Yes. So, oh, stop scrolling. I think I have to close this stuff down here at some point. Okay. We're going to get there. All right, so do you see my friends list here? I'm hoping I can click on this at some point. Okay, so then if I hit more, I apologize, this is going so slow, I'm not sure. So I have these different categories here, right? So if I have this one that I call my potential challengers, I've put them in this group, and then I can click on it, and then all these people are people who would be people that I would want to have in my group. And I can just scroll down this list now. These are all their posts, and I can comment or like on those. You can actually even do this for your team too. So like I put people in, the Fit Republic group. So like if I want to go and check in on my coaches, I've got, might be this, Fit Republic coaches here. So how you do this is, let's say I'm going to type on Christine here. And to categorize people, you just click on this friends. And you can add to a list. And then, so it says Beachbody, Fit Republic. You can even do it by like your schools and stuff you've been in. You can put them on multiple lists too, so you know. Cool? Good stuff? Oops. All right, I'm just gonna stop share here really quick. Awesome. Helpful? Cool.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Thank you.
And then the last vital behavior is recognition. And this is actually something that is new. Just this year, I think they started doing it. And what they found was that coaches who were recognizing people, whether it was their challengers or coaches on their team, they were just, they were seeing more success and motivation overall, and like drawing more attraction to what they were doing. And I think the thing that's great about recognizing people is that you're in doing that, especially if you're recognizing them on social media, you're showing people, how much you care about the people that you're working with, and that you are helping people, and that you want to celebrate them, that you celebrate people, and it can be celebrating people for little things too. So as a new coach, you're like, well, I don't have a lot of challengers right now, or at least no success stories yet. And maybe I don't have anybody on my team yet, right? Who do I recognize? I mean, it could be just your best friend did something really cool and you want to recognize them for doing that. It's just keep it little things. It could be sending a thank you note. Christine's awesome at this. Thank you notes for little things that people do. Even if it's like a private message to someone, just saying, hey, congrats on this thing. I think that's awesome. The more that you can kind of put the positive energy out there and recognize people and kind of reinforce the good things they're doing for themselves, the more you're really going to be able to impact people's lives. And then they're going to feel that you really care. And that's going to help you build that strong long-term relationship with them. Any questions on recognition?
I got something on recognition.
Yeah, great.
It's a little different, but what I started doing on my Facebook page is almost every day or every couple of days, I do a post. I call it "Friends Doing Awesome Shit."
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, and because I've got friends that just kind of do some crazy stuff. So like I did a post on my friend Miles Dasher, who is on the Red Bull Air team. This guy jumps out of airplanes, and I mean he's just kind of crazy. But I did a whole post on him. I did a post on my friend Grant Corrigan, who's a paraplegic athlete. So I just kind of pull, and I almost kind of share their posts. But I've got a lot of cool feedback from it, just from different random people. But it's sort of on the recognition thing, but you can
Totally.
also, do whatever, But that's what I call my thing. I'm trying to make it fun and funny. But yeah, friends doing awesome shit.
I love it. I think that's awesome. So something as simple as that. And you said you're getting good feedback from it, right?
Yeah, I'm getting good feedback, and it's also just kind of a fun post that's different to add into my feed. Anyway.
I think people love to hear that stuff. I think it's very inspiring to see other real life people doing cool stuff. Kind of like, okay, I want to go do something cool. What can I go do? Or yeah, I think it's great. And it will definitely get people. And if we're going to get into like the technical stuff of like, how do you get more eyes on you on social media? Like if you do posts and you get a lot of people like it and share it and comment on it, then it's going to show up in more people's posts. So more people are going to see you. And then if you get people liking on your stuff, then more of your future stuff is going to show up in their feed. So interacting with other people on social media and posting things that people like to interact with, even if it's like, what do you like, Nike or Adidas? Will get you in front of more people. So you want to post things that, get a lot of, traction on it, right?
Traction. Yeah, I've got a fellow, one of the other coaches on Team Rockstar Fit, one of the coaches I met up here in Portland. She does almost religiously. She always does these just little one-line questions out there. Like she did, "What's your birthstone?" And then people comment, just are constantly commenting on different things. Or she'll put Airwalks or Converse, whatever whatever it is. But she gets a lot of feedback from it. And she says it's really, really helped her feed. So,
Cool. Yeah, that's great. Little social media tip for you guys. All right. So lastly, before we jump off, because I know we're already getting close to kind of our hour we try to stay within, I wanted to pop up the activity tracker. Some of you have seen it. Some of you may not have seen it yet. I feel like it's a really great place for new coaches to start. If they sit down at their desk and they're like, oh my gosh, what do I do to work my business? Use this as a guide. So I'm going to walk through really quick. Let me just share my screen again. All right. So let me know you guys can see that, right? Christine, can you see it?
I can, yep.
All right, awesome. Okay, so this is your little sheet that you could either literally type in or you could print out. If you want to put the name, your current rank, what week it is for, if you have a rank advancement goal. I mean, I feel like everyone should have a goal at least to get to Emerald so you can maximize your business center. But the big focus, again, for new coaches is let's just get into the daily action, right? So they've got these color-coded, interestingly, and I don't know what their mentality is behind the color coding, but what I notice when I look at how they color-coded this is that the light blue activities are the must-dos. These are the new business generating idea or activities. So we'll walk through them all just really quick. So we already talked about being proof the product works. So that was your vital behavior number 1. Vital behavior number 2 was personal development. So that's here. We've talked about that one already. Staying connected is just, like listening to national wake-up calls, going into the team pages to look for information so that you know what's going on, looking in your back office at any of the breaking news. It's really good to stay informed what's going on out there, because you want to know what options are available to the people that you're going to work with. And if there's some great trainings on topics that you need help on, you want to know when those are. So it's good to stay informed. Again, just like with kind of being proof of the product and personal development, you want to make sure that you don't spend all your time in this category, because you literally could spend 8 hours a day on this kind of stuff. So you just want to make sure that you do a quick glance of it. I'm going to skip to the bottom in the dark blue categories. So you've got existing customer check-ins. So obviously with any business you run, you want to take care of your people that you're serving. So it's really important to make sure you are spending some time every day on your current customers and ensuring that you're retaining those people and really helping them get good results. So that can be anything from, posting and doing your work in your challenge groups. It could be sending one-on-one messages and emails to check in with people. Maybe people you're not seeing interacting in the group, or maybe it's someone that hasn't been in your groups for a while, but you want to see how they're doing. The other thing is you could send some mass emails with tips and stuff to stay connected to your people. You can do videos for your challengers. You can send text messages and make phone calls. So you definitely want to make sure you're tracking your customers, and you will have a customer list in your back office. So as you start to get more and more customers, you can always pull up that list and say, hey, who haven't I talked to in a while? Who can I reach out to?
Heather?
Yeah.
Would you mind showing the new coaches how to get to this, how to download this tracker that we're looking at? It's from the Coach Online Office.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Now, whether I can find it in the back office, it's been a while since I've gone in to pull it out. But yeah, we'll do that maybe right at the end.
Okay, thank you.
All right. And then the last one is connecting with your team. So this is either connecting with your upline. It could be being on a team call like this. It could be working with some of your coaches, phone calls, one-on-one trainings. Any of that is really like developing your team or working with your upline to develop yourself. So then getting into the middle pieces. So these are the pieces, like I was saying, that most coaches tend to avoid, because they're the ones that are either like hard to stay focused on, or maybe they're intimidating because you have to like reach out to someone and actually ask them to join you. But these are the pieces that if you do these every day, you will see interest and traction in your business. So starting with social media, if you are not already regularly on social media, I would start with 1 post a day. You can work your way up to 2, and 3 is kind of the ideal to ensure that enough people are seeing you. Because if you don't know this, I think it's like 6% of your posts get seen by the people that you're friends with. So if you put out a post, chances are only 6% of your friend list is actually seeing it. So if you do post multiple times in a day, it increases the chances or the percentage of people that are actually going to see what you're doing. Now, you don't want to make every post you do about health and fitness, because then people will probably think you went psycho and you're living and breathing only health and fitness. So you want to share the other pieces of your life. So if you're starting with 1 post a day, it could be every other day. Maybe you post something about fitness or nutrition or inspiration. The other part could be something else about you, whether it's family or a hobby that you have. Maybe you have something in your career, a trip you're taking. And then you can slowly work your way up. If you get up to 3 posts a day, I definitely think it's great to do a post in the morning, something midday, and then something at night. And I think the statistics show most people are kind of on social media either at the end of the day And I don't know about weekends or not. I've heard people say both ways. Like people have more time on the weekend to look, but then there's also the other people who like to shut down from that kind of stuff on the weekend. So you kind of have to play with it a little bit. But I think if you hit 3 posts a day and you do morning, midday, night, you're good. Don't spend too much time on these two, because this is another area where I see people toil about this stuff, and they spend so long creating their posts that then they don't have time for the other stuff. And I think if you're one of those people who you do feel like you start getting stuck into spending too much time on personal development or social media, start with these other items first, get those done, and then move on to the other, because it'll force you to work less time on those things, if that makes sense. So then the next one is the new contacts. So you want to be making new contacts every day. And Beachbody suggests 2 to 5. Again, you probably need to set your own goals. If you want your business to grow faster, you might want to do more than 5 a day. If you only have a limited amount of time, it may just be 1 or 2 a day. So when you're looking at those contacts, it could be, one thing I do is I go into Facebook groups, or I find Facebook groups with people who have similar interests to me. So because I'm a fitness professional, I find groups for people who are in fitness. I found some groups, like some mom groups that are kind of in the area. I'm in a group of moms of boys. I think I joined a couple of groups that are like focused on women entrepreneurs. So just kind of finding different groups that sort of gel with your interests and would obviously have people in your target market. Christine, you have a question?
I make it really simple. If I'm at a soccer game, I'm at a helping at the school volunteering, I'm at work, I just think of, when I get home, I'm like, oh, I'll add so-and-so I just met or know at school to my list. So just a simple way to do it for those of us that maybe haven't really added all the friends to your Facebook group, just each day when you're at something and you interact with a person, just add them. It takes a lot less time. And then once as far as Heather is, she's already got tons of friends in there. So she's looking for more people, and you can do that as well, just because sometimes the way I feel is I kind of forget people's names too if I don't like go home right away
Yeah.
and add them in, because you're like, what was that lady's name again?
Yeah. No, that's such a great idea too. Adding people when you can, like even if you're, I don't know, at the airport, like I know you met someone at the airport, but I was at the airport too, like talking to someone, and we had a great conversation. I was like, hey, let's stay connected. Do you mind if we become friends on Facebook, and then connecting that way? Yeah, it's a great idea. The other thing I heard today too was go to your friends' lists and look on there to see if you recognize any names of people that maybe you've met through them, but you're not already friends on Facebook. And I think they actually Facebook sometimes suggests people for you. And you can look and see if those are people that you either met or heard of. Those are good people too. But it's interesting because, I definitely feel like I've gotten to the point where I have to go into some of these groups and start friending people that I don't really even know from anyone. And I'll usually look at their profile and see what they have to make sure it's somebody that, really seems inspiring and interesting to me. Like, I don't want to add somebody that, is going to bring bad juju vibes or anything, but, and not everyone is going to accept your request, but some do. And then when they do, I just tell them, hey, I always love connecting, whether it's moms of boys or women who work in fitness, and then just ask them a question like, I don't know, how long you've been in fitness, or I don't know, whatever you feel like comfortable asking them, but just a way to kind of connect with them after they actually accept the request. Any questions?
I also put, like, I have friends whose friends like my posts, and so I immediately will go, if I don't recognize the name, I'll go and I'll check out who they are and how they're connected to me. And then I send requests. I've gotten probably 10 or 15 people that way.
Oh, that's great. That's a good idea. Yeah. I think I've done that a couple times too, if I've seen someone comment. That's a good one. And just to emphasize why this is important, because like right now you're fresh in the business. If you're new, people don't necessarily know what you're doing. So you've got people right in front of you that you can immediately help. But as you've started helping them and they're your existing customers, you're always constantly wanting to find new people because that's how your business is going to grow. And so in order to find those new people, you have to obviously start connecting with them and getting connected to them somehow. So you always want to look for opportunities, even if it's not on social media, like when you're out at birthday parties with your kids or you're at a networking event for work, how can you connect with more people in your day? And ideally you can eventually funnel them to your social media, but even if it's getting an email address or just starting the relationship and you're going to see them at another event down the road, it's like really being open to creating as many new relationships as you can. And of course, always being willing to help, again, even if it doesn't mean anything will come out of it in terms of business, right? The next one is inviting to join a challenge group or a fit club. I feel like a kind of a basic foundation for your business is to be running some kind of a challenge group on a regular basis. Monthly works well if you would like to hit Success Club, which is a great benefit as a coach, is to hit that every month. So having something that you can invite them to every month is just a good business practice, and it doesn't have to be a 4-week challenge every month. It could be a 3-day or a 5-day, 1 month, and then a longer challenge another month. It's really up to you to decide what you want to offer. But that way, when you're going out to invite people, you've got something coming up that they can be part of. And even if maybe you haven't set the date yet, just say, hey, I'm going to be forming this group. This is my idea, and I'm looking for people who might want to work on this. I thought of you because of X, Y, Z. And so in inviting people, again, not everyone's going to say yes. Most people actually say no, at least initially. And I find that down the road, oftentimes people who've said no will actually come back and be like, okay, I'm ready. So don't take no as a no forever or take it personally at all. Just it wasn't the right timing for that person, or maybe the right format for them in their life right now. But at least you've made the connection, you're building the trust now, and when the time is right for them, they'll know they can come to you. So make sure that you're inviting people. They suggest 2 to 5 people every day. You'll have to set the number that you feel like is good for you, that's in alignment with your goals. Invite and learn about the business. So if you are interested in building a team and being able to earn some of the team bonuses that come with that, if you love mentoring people in business, you like to lead people, you really want to, one of the fun parts about this business is you get to pick who you work with. So you can look at those people like, I would really love to work with that person. And that's a person you could invite to the business opportunity. And it may not start as a direct invite. It may be that you start with them on their health and fitness in a challenge group. And as you see them in the group and they get great results, you feel like they have great energy. You think they can inspire a lot of people. You'd love to have them on your team. That's might be the time where you invite them to be part of the business opportunity. So they say to invite 2 to 5 people every day. I know, especially for new coaches, that can seem like a lot. So you would have to just talk to your sponsor to figure out where you are in terms of your interest in inviting to the business and what seems like a reasonable level. The last item is follow-up, and that was a piece that was missing from my business for probably the first couple of years. I just didn't track a lot of who I was talking to. I was giving out Shakeology samples all over the place and never really tracked who I was giving stuff to, and I certainly wasn't following up with them. And the follow-up is a huge piece in actually being able to secure that person as a client. I think the statistics show it was something like 5 to 12 follow-ups needed for somebody to say yes. and actually like push the button and go. So we have to remember that just putting the information in their hands and letting it to their own devices, they're not likely, I mean, your percentage of bringing people on will be much, much lower. So a lot of people need to see something several times to know it's right for them. Sometimes they just need that nudge and that encouragement to say yes. And if you're there showing them that you're going to be there, keeping them accountable, and that you really want to help them with this, then they're more likely to say yes. So you have to have a way to track people. I can't emphasize that piece enough, because I did not track people. And I think I could have helped a lot more people in the long run had I done that in the beginning. So for some people, they just like pen and paper. They want to write it down in a notebook. You can see obviously at the bottom of the tracker here, that you can write down people that you need to follow up with. Over time, these 10 spots are not going to be enough. If you have sent out as many invites and new contacts as this daily tracker is asking you to do, you're going to need more space than this. I used to use an Excel spreadsheet, but it wasn't as flexible as I needed it to be, because I felt like I kind of needed to move people along the process from someone that I had just started talking to someone that was interested in a challenge, to someone who was a customer, to someone that I wanted to talk to about the business, all the way to someone who finally, decided they wanted to join my team. So I use something called Streak, and I know I've talked about this in the past on one of our team calls. It's really awesome, and I'm not going to go into like how to do it and set it up, but I can show you guys a quick snapshot here of what it looks like. Let me just change my screen share here. Where did we go? Okay. Go back to my internet here. Hopefully it's not super slow. And click on this. So it's actually an app that you can connect to Google. Oops. This is killing me. Slow internet. All right, so sorry guys. All right, so you guys see how it has these pipelines over here on the left where my mail folders are? I created my own funnel, and it looks like this. So I have these different categories of people. So for example, if I had like leads here, right? I keep their names and all these details about them. And then I can click on the stage here, if it lets me. And I can move them to different stages in the process. So it's really, really handy in terms of just being able to track your people, because I had a really hard time, even once I started tracking people, I had a really hard time using like spreadsheets and things like that. All right, hold on one second. I hear some background noise. I'm not sure who it is. I don't know if it's Christine. Maybe it was. Okay, cool. All right, so then Amy, you asked about showing where to find the tracker, right?
Yes, please. I think I know how to get to it, but I don't know about Erin and Kirsten.
Okay, let me see if I can find it here really quick. Just give me a second. I think it might be in the Fit Republic group too, but let's see. I know it's.
You want to share your screen?
Yeah, I just wanted to, I was going to try to find it first, because whenever I share my screen, my internet goes a lot slower.
Okay.
So I figured I would find it. I want to say it's like right in the new coach training piece. I'm almost there. Perfect. Okay. So let me share my screen really quick. And this is actually good that we're doing this because then you guys can see where the self-training is located in the back office. Because Beachbody has a lot of training videos and stuff that you have access to already that you can just browse through at your own pace. All right, so you guys can see my back office here. Yeah. So if you go under news, news and training, you just click on training, and then it's going to bring you to a page where you'll see all these on the left-hand side under training. See how they have it sort of organized by your level in the business. So if you're brand spanking new, I would suggest doing the getting started section and then going under the coach section and looking at all those pieces. So right now I'm under the coach section, and it has these 4 categories that say, do this, know this, learn how. And then it has the business starter benchmarks, which are basically benchmarks that kind of help you know when you're starting the business, what are some kind of business goals to strive toward. So under the learn how, it's got some resources here for you guys. So definitely check out the connect with people. Look at those handouts. Those are going to be useful, covering some of the stuff we talked about today. Here's a section on inviting. So that'll give you some ideas on how to invite. And then this business activity tracker right here, see this? And you just click on the PDF. And then there's even a video that talks about how to earn commissions and bonuses, and Success Club, which I had mentioned as being something that is a good business marker to strive for, and also can lead to prizes and trips and extra income and customer leads and things like that. Oh, I like that. This must be new. No Shakeology and Beachbody products. Oh, they've got some good info videos down here. So yeah, I mean, this would be something that on your personal development time, you could go in here and watch a video or look at a document. And then you can go and snag the activity tracker there. Cool. All right, guys. So I know this was a long call today. It was a lot of stuff in it. I hope it was helpful. I am willing to stay on and answer questions, or if people want to chat about anything in particular. If you need to run, it's totally fine if you want to jump off. I am recording this, so you could always go back and watch the last few minutes if you need to. Does anybody have anything they want to ask, or any burning questions or anything they want to share? Was this helpful?
It was. Thank you.
Did you pick up at least one thing that you can use in your business?
Definitely.
I just need one thing. Okay. One thing. Awesome. And remember to please share this recording with other people who weren't able to make it today. I will post it in the Fit Republic group. This is something that you can use as training if you want for new coaches coming on. If you want them to be able to listen to this and get some ideas, feel free to share it. You can always have them fast forward through the announcements at the beginning if you want. That's totally fine. And I would love any feedback on the training. If you found pieces that were very helpful, or if there was stuff that you were like, oh, we didn't need to spend as much time on that, I think that'd be great, because as we are continuing to train our new coaches, I think it's important to know what new coaches want to spend the most time on. And then if you have any ideas on topics that you want to dive into, or things that you want to cover on future calls, I would really love feedback on that, because I love to get on and talk about what you guys want to learn about. So, but I need to know what you feel like you need help with. So please don't hesitate to give me ideas or feedback. Cool?
I just want to say thank you to Heather for sharing with all of you guys, and I'm so glad so many of you guys were able to jump on today to really get started and learn some new cool things. And hopefully this will end with inspiring you to, I made these today. I'm not a baker at all.
Ooh, yummy.
This is from the Fix8 cookbook. It's the chickpea brownies.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're really good. So
awesome. Okay, I gotta make this.
On a try something new, something you've never done before, because maybe it'll actually turn out right. So
That's awesome.
thanks, Heather, for doing this today.
Yeah, I'm so happy to, and I love doing this, and I hope that you guys feel like it was really valuable. And I will say on the Fixate cookbook note, I made that quinoa dish in there. I don't know if you guys have made it with the peppers and the, I forget what else was in the black beans and the corn. Oh, it was really good. And it makes like 12 servings, so it'll last you for like a week of sides. So there's 2 Fixate recipes for you guys to try. Awesome. All right, guys, I'm going to stop the recording. Anyone listening, Fixate. Anyone listening to this in the future, I hope this was valuable. Always feel free to reach out to me. Happy to help. I love helping people grow their businesses, and I love helping people help people. All right. Hanging up. Bye, guys.